Wow, today's episode was a doozy. Ready? I got asked if you could go back 10 years, what advice or coaching advice would you give yourself to be successful? Well, I started answering the question and I ended up typing out 14 things. So I give you 13 and a bonus. Things that I would coach myself on 10 years ago that if I implemented would make me a trillionaire. So I implement them every day now and I'm here to share them with you. So here are the 13 things plus the one bonus, and I give you the bonus first, that I would coach myself on 10 years ago. So let's get into the episode. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Mind of George Show. But you already know that since you listened to the intro and we're in the podcast. This is a Mindful Monday. This is a special episode because I got asked a question the other day. And the question was amazing. And they said, if you could go back in time and coach yourself, what would you tell yourself? And I was like, how long? They're like, 10 years. I was like, okay, cool. So I've been sitting with this and meditating on this. And I started typing and I started typing and I started typing. And I came up with 13 things that I would tell myself 10 years ago as an entrepreneur, as a human being. And man, if 10 years ago I followed these 13 things, I'd be worth like $1 trillion. I'd own 8 million nonprofits. I'd have saved humanity. But it's good because I practice them now and I love that I'm aware of them. And so here's my thought for today. My thought for today before we get into the episode, this is a really short quote. I just got off a mastermind call with our amazing mastermind members, and I shared this quote, and I'm going to share it again, and I'm going to share it with you. Well, hello, insert ad for my stuff in my own show, but I love this. So, hey, friends, I'm taking a quick break from this episode to let you in on a little celebration my team and I are throwing with you. We're celebrating because we've officially decided to shut down our Facebook group and go even deeper in value, connection, accountability, and engagement in our private programs and masterminds. So to celebrate, throughout the month of May, my team and I are holding a special bye-bye Facebook promotion, which means hello results in your business, giving you limited access to our Lighthouse Business Accelerator program, LBA for short, if you hear me reference it that way. You will get 2 live calls per month with me and my team and our coaches and advisors. You'll get 24/7 community support in our private group and our best trainings, strategies, tactics, and foundational principles for attracting new customers, keeping those customers longer by developing a world-class customer experience, and building a business that supports your dream impact. The program is $297 a month at a 3-month minimum commitment. But with the bye-bye Facebook promotion, you'll get the first month for only $13, and 100% of that will be donated to Operation Underground Railroad to combat human trafficking. This promo will only last for the next month until we officially shut down the Facebook group. So if you want to jump into my monthly coaching program for just $13 today, go send me a DM on Instagram. You know my Instagram. It's George Bryant. Send me a DM that says bye-bye Facebook. And if you are not a fan of the gram, we are only extending this to people who send us a message to make sure you're a fit. So we're not giving you a link, nothing like that. So if you send me a DM on Instagram, just say bye-bye Facebook, and we will send you the link. Or if you send us an email to georgeb@georgebryant.com, which is my email at the company, georgeb, Georgeb, as in boy or Bryant, at georgebryant.com with the subject line bye-bye Facebook, then we will send you the link. So let's get back to the episode. Consistency will always trump intensity. Consistency will always trump intensity. And so what do I mean by that? Entrepreneurship is a long game. Like, we don't know when the finish line is. It's like we're playing the lottery every day. And I watch so many people sacrifice consistency to try to swing for the fences and hit home runs every day, but yet they miss and miss and miss and miss. And the ones who consistently hit base hits or take a step every day always win. See, what a lot of people need to understand, and this has been coming up on coaching calls for the last month nonstop to over 1,000 people already, is that you are the secret weapon. You're the tool. You're the one using the tools. But if you're sacrificing yourself you can't effectively use a tool. I could give you the best strategies and tactics in the world, but if you don't have the capacity, energy, presence, or intuition to execute them, they're no good. And so you have to consistently prioritize. You hear me say on the podcast and in my marketing, the business, relationships beat algorithms. And you always hear me say, but the most important relationship is the one with yourself. And so why do I say consistency trumps intensity? Because if every day you work on yourself, you give yourself an edge, and you'll always have the edge to apply that energy into whatever strategy and tactic that you're employing. And I talk about that in one of the 13 things. And so my quote for you today is consistency will always trump intensity. This is a long game. It's about making progress every single day. It's about growing, iterating, and taking a step every single day. And if you are burnt out or having to take days off or feel broken or abused, it's not going to work well. You can't win a race that you just keep wanting to quit. So you have to show up consistently over a sustained period of time. And that's what guarantees success, because success can be scheduled. And I get into that in a minute. So on today's episode, I'm going to be sharing the 13 things I wish I coached myself on 10 years ago. And I'm going to read them to you. I had to write all of these down because it just started flowing and flowing and flowing. And so this episode is only going to be as long as it takes me to get into these 13 things. And then what I want you to do is I want you to send me a DM on Instagram. It's George Bryant. I want you to tell me which one you're going to implement right away. Or tell me I'm crazy and share it. But before I do, here's my bonus one. So I'm going to be sharing 13 things that I would have coached myself on. And the 14th one, the bonus one, is to celebrate wins. If I could go back in 10 years, I would celebrate my wins more. I would celebrate every win, every momentum, and build it. And so today I'm going to celebrate wins by reading 3 random podcast reviews. And so the first review comes from Stinkbug01. Stinkbug01 says, great show, 5 stars. George, host of the Mind of George podcast, highlights all aspects of connecting with customers and more in this can't miss podcast. The host and expert guests offer insightful advice and information that is helpful to anyone that listens. Stinkbug01, thank you so much. And then we have So Into It. Oh, like SEW. That's hilarious. So into it. I'm so into it, but like sewing. Oh, it's like a double entendre there. So freaking good. 5 stars. I listened to George Bryant today for the first time. Episode 166. Welcome to my crazy mind. It is now my absolute favorite podcast by far. Wow, he's so insightful and honest. I had so many aha moments. I could go on and on and on, gushing with how much I really enjoyed listening to him and his guests. I even cried with some healing moments. Just so good. I love it. And I'm scrolling right down to the middle, and I'm just going to find a random one. And here we go. The random one today for the third one is from Vimeha305. A must-listen type of podcast, 5 stars. I came across this podcast by pure mistake, and I'm so happy I did. I was in a rut with my business and had no idea how to bounce back. This podcast has given me the energy and mindset I was missing. I highly encourage listening to George and the message he shares. Every episode is full of tips, advice, and wisdom. My best advice is to have somewhere to jot things down. It is the only podcast I have ever taken notes for. Well, Vimeha305, thank you so much. And my bonus tip to get started of the first thing, and I will start with the bonus because who doesn't love dessert first? The bonus is the first thing I would do if I went back 10 years was celebrate my wins earlier and celebrate them more often. So that's me celebrating the wins of this podcast. We're over a year in. It's absolutely amazing. And so if you have not left me a review, if you could please review this podcast on your favorite platform, whether that's iTunes or podcasts or wherever you listen to this, it would mean the world to me. I read every single one of them, and I will be reading every one of them on episodes, and I will be reaching out and sending you gifts because I'm going to bribe you, but I would love the review. So here we go. Here comes the rapid fire. The 13 things that I would have told myself if I was coaching myself 10 years ago. And these are in no particular order. I brain dumped these, by the way, and they're in no particular order. Point number 1, be very diligent and intentional about who you take advice from. Be crystal clear about where you want to go and ask for advice for someone who is there or who has been there. Advice should be put into practice and not hoarded. That is the first thing that I would coach myself on my list. Be diligent and intentional about who I take advice from. I can't ask for advice about going somewhere if I'm not clear in what direction I want to head. And once I get clear on the direction I want to head, I should only be asking for advice from people who have been there or who are currently there. And the most important part of getting advice is putting it into practice and not hoarding more advice for quote unquote potential. That's number one. Number two, stop trying to run 3 races at the same time. Focus on one thing at a time and take consistent action progressing or solving that before starting another one. Consistency will always trump intensity. Entrepreneurship is a long game, and I believe we work in seasons. And so I would implore you to master a skill in every season so that you build an arsenal and a toolbox of mastery instead of being a rookie at 20 skills at a time and expecting them to work. You cannot run 3 races at the same time. Get crystal clear on the priority of where you spend your time and build on top of it and on top of it, giving your all to the one thing so it can be completed to then move on to the next thing. That's number 2. Number 3, surround yourself with people who see you at your potential and hold you to it, not your past or your excuses. This is a journey, it's a game, it's a long one, and it's never fun or successful alone. Be with people who love to play, who will pull you up to the clouds when needed, or will get into the trenches with you. This one is huge, and I just have to publicly thank my wife for always seeing me at my potential, but more importantly, holding me there and not accepting my excuses or my commitment to mediocrity at times. This is why, more than anything, I want my legacy to be this podcast and my mastermind. It's what I believe in. I believe it's my gift. It's where I spend my time, and it's about the humans that are in it. So make sure you're intentional about where you spend your time. Make sure the people that you're around see you at your potential and hold you there and support you in getting there, not getting there for you or telling you that you're wrong. Your community is everything. Number 4, there is no one-size-fits-all approach or quote-unquote normal. You will never be able to execute someone else's how. You must build your own how. Use others for inspiration, but understand that you are the secret weapon. You, your story, your experiences, your trauma, your pain, and your roadblocks are your rocket ships. That is what makes you unique. That is what gives you your viewpoint. Your ability to execute based on your intuition and confidence in your life is your guaranteed path to success. Nobody else can do that but you. So it's your road to make. No one's charted this territory before. It's your vision, it's your road, and you have to carve it. You decide what direction you're going to go and go pave a road. You cannot drive on somebody else's road and expect your vision to be executed. When you drive on their road, you're executing their vision. So understand that you, all of you, is the secret weapon. Number 5, intention and energy scheduled will always lead to success. You are a leader. You are a change maker, a pioneer, and that means you have to build the road, not drive down someone else's. 9 out of 10 things that you do every day should be creation versus consumption. Create, iterate, collect real-world feedback, and repeat. You being in consistent action over a sustained period of time will give you everything you need to build your how. You take action, you get feedback. What worked, what didn't work, what can I do differently, and you take action again. You should be creating, not consuming. Consuming is programming your brain to somebody else's knowledge. Creation is from your intuition aligned with your vision. Practice it. Trust yourself. Say the thing that you want to say. Share it with the world. What's the worst that happens? Somebody says no? Great. Say it again. Say it differently. Change the wrapping paper. Your vision is up to you to execute. So that was 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Number 6, don't pretend to be someone you are not. My poop stinks too, and I own that. But trust comes from integrity and not false representation. None of us have it figured out, myself included. I have quote-unquote imposter syndrome, just like everybody else. None of us are figuring it out. We're all just guessing and testing, and some have been doing it longer or guessed better than me and you. And that's okay, but you never have to represent yourself falsely or say that you've done something you haven't. Integrity is what creates trust. Some of my biggest clients came before I was even a consultant and had a track record doing it. They're like, have you ever done this? And I'm like, no, but I bet you I can figure it out and I won't quit till we do. And they hired me and they paid me and it worked. You have to own where you are. That is your gift. The integrity of owning where you are is what will give you the path to get to where you want to go while getting everybody else to trust you. So be yourself, because it's exhausting trying to be somebody else, and eventually the curtain gets ripped away and it's exhausting. So be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Okay, so that was number 6. Number 7, don't allow checking boxes to check you out. Don't allow checking boxes to check you out. You are the secret. You must be in alignment or working towards alignment to have success. Create containers that hold you on the path to your vision and have grace for what the journey looks like. And what do I mean by this? We all have to-do lists, but to-do lists don't give you your gift. Be productive, give your best, but also make sure you're aligned and working towards your vision. Don't allow the doing this and the checked boxes to take away your gift, which is your intuition, which is you and your alignment, which is you trusting what's in front of you to make an informed decision as a leader. So don't allow checking boxes to check you out. Don't allow checking boxes to check you out. The next one, I'm scrolling down. Okay, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. Okay, so 13. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. There's no point in trying to find your vision or create your vision if all it leads to is more stagnation. What you need to have is a general direction for your purpose, your vision, and meaning, and you need to head in that direction. And so the fastest path to get clarity on your quote-unquote purpose, on your vision, on your skill set, on your mission, is to play the game and get feedback. If you know you want to play football, but you don't know what position, just start playing. You'll realize quickly that you don't want to be a lineman or you don't want to be a quarterback. But the faster you put it into practice and get into action and into momentum, the faster you get the real world feedback to help you make course adjustments, because you cannot plan a perfect journey. Entrepreneurship, your vision, your mission, it's just like playing the lottery. It's a ton of guessing, and then eventually we hit the numbers right because we're consistent, but you can't predict it. You have to play it, and you have to play it and play it and play it and play it and play it. You can stay stuck for years trying to quote unquote find your passion or get a clear vision, but what you need is a fuzzy direction, and you need to head into it. And being in action with that real world input is what will lay the path out to your vision, to your mission, to your passion, because it will change every single day. It will refine. It will get clearer. Sometimes it will get fuzzier. It will look differently than you ever thought, and you just have to be in the pursuit of it to be successful. Next one. The next thing I would give myself. Your mind, your body, your being, and your business are the most important things to work on every day. And you must ensure that you take a step forward in each area every day and protect it over everything else. Take care of your body. Take care of your beingness, take care of your mind, and then take care of your business. This is the most important thing I will ever tell you. You can look at everybody's successes, the mentors that you look up to, the people that you look up to, and there's a direct correlation between the amount of time they invest in themselves and the amount of success that they have. There is no such thing as I'll sacrifice myself now to have a better life later, because you're not going to be able to live the life. It's bullshit and it's not real. You must prioritize yourself. You are the secret weapon. You are the race car, and I can't trade you in for a new model. You have to protect it over everything else. This is why I created our 4 sacred Lightkeeper quadrants. It's what I harp in the mastermind. It's what I teach all my clients, all my students, my team, my business partners, all of it. And I will protect it over everything else, because the truth is if you prioritize that over everything else, you're almost guaranteed to succeed because you're sharpening your ability to win every day. And here's what I'll tell you. I can give 100 amateur golfers the best golf clubs in the world and put them up against a PGA Tour pro and they won't win. I can give that PGA Tour pro a $30 clubs from Walmart and put him up against those 100 amateurs and he will beat them or she will beat them every single time because it's not the golf clubs, it's the golfer. You're the golfer. Your mind, your body, your being, and your business. Protect it over everything else. Next, and this is a thread that's been in a few of them, iteration is required to achieve success. Iteration is required to achieve success. Iteration only comes from real-world feedback after taking intentional action. Get clear, take action, do more of what works, learn from what didn't, make an adjustment, and take action again. Ambiguity is the silent killer of entrepreneurs. And if you don't take action, you can never get the feedback required to get clarity. Success is inevitable as long as you keep making adjustments until it works. Success is inevitable as long as you keep making adjustments until it works. You can plan all day. You can worst case scenario, every conceivable scenario, run through every training protocol in the world. And you can plan to run the best race, but until you actually start the race, you'll never know if it worked or know where to make adjustments. Iteration and falling in love with the uncertainty is a fast path to success. It's going to look different every single day. It's not going to be what you think it is, and you can try to design it perfectly, and it will always be different. But what you can always do is take action to build it and stay in that action, iterating, learning, adjusting, and keep going, and your success will be inevitable as long as you keep playing. Next, this one's short. Stop sacrificing your life to build a business you won't be able to enjoy. Build a business that supports your life and protects it. Doesn't matter how much money I make every year when my 4-year-old says, "Daddy, I never see you." There's no point in hustling and quote-unquote building a multi-million-dollar business to leave my kids money when all my kids wanted was more time with me. You cannot sacrifice your life to build a business. It's a trap. It doesn't work. You have to build a business that supports your life and protects it. Number 12, believe in yourself more than you believe in what others think of you. Believe in yourself more than you believe in what others think of you. Work on your mindset and caring what you think. Your opinion of yourself is more important than the words of other people. Now, always be open to feedback. Always be open to adjustment. But measure yourself against your belief in yourself. Is what I just posted how I actually feel? Did what I just shared be in alignment to what I felt? Was that in integrity with my belief system? And if the answer is a hell yes, then keep doing it and own it. If it's a no, acknowledge it, make an adjustment, and own it. But what you need to measure yourself is against your performance every day. The world greats understand that they're only competing against themselves every single day. You have to believe in yourself more than you believe in what others think of you. And here's a news flash. It's practice. It takes practice. It's a muscle. And it's something that you have to practice. Self-acceptance, grace, self-love. You have to practice it to make it stronger and to increase your range, to find your edge. Practice it. Believe in yourself more than you believe in what others think of you. And then the final tip. And I didn't order these, but here's number 13. Number 13, protect yourself. Protecting your mental health is a strength. Do not accept things that sacrifice your peace or happiness. Avoid people, places, and things that drain your energy. Don't accept mediocrity in your wants or needs. Avoid people who take and never give. Protect yourself. Only pour into others' cups after you have filled your own, and never pour into cups that don't reciprocate for you or for others. Protect your mental health. Be clear in your boundaries. I would rather you be alone than be around people that take from you. I would rather you be alone than be around people that poison your brain. I would rather you practice that strengthening relationship with yourself than sacrificing your morals and values and integrity to check a box to be shallow friends with somebody else. You have one life. You are a bright light and a gift. And you should only be around people and in places and things that help amplify that light, never dull it or turn it down. There's enough abundance for everybody to win. There's enough abundance for everybody to celebrate, to push you no matter where you are, and never be around people that turn your volume down or dim your brightness or take from you or feel heavy, and protect it. Be willing to take a stand for yourself like you would your child. And if you don't have children and you do one day, you'll understand. But I would never let somebody, including another kid, be around my son and intentionally put them down or intentionally not listen or disrespect their needs. And I should never do the same in my business or in my life. I should never have people that don't respect my boundaries or my needs or my wants or my words or my voice. And I need to surround myself with people that do. And so the final tip is protect yourself, and protect yourself at all costs. And so that's a very long-winded answer to a simple question that I couldn't answer with one. So I typed a ton of answers. So if I was to go back 10 years, what would I say to myself? So I gave you 14 lessons today. Number 1 was the bonus, dessert first. Celebrate your wins more often. So celebrate your win right now. Find a win. Find a moment in your day and celebrate the shit out of it. Own it. Proclaim it. Stand on a rooftop and be proud of it. I don't care what it is. Celebrate it, right? And if you haven't left me a review, please go leave me a review on the podcast. It means the world to me, and I read every single one of them. They're, just so you guys know, they're my rainy day messages. So when I'm having a moment of self-doubt or imposter syndrome, I go to the reviews and I read them to remind me to get up and get back to work with love. And then those are the 13 things that I would say to myself. And I want you to DM me on Instagram. Which one lands the most for you? Which one do you realize that if you bring into integrity today will have a massive impact on your business? Which one did I miss? What would you say to yourself 10 years ago? Like, DM me on Instagram. I want to read them. I want to hear them. I will send you a video response back because it's important to me. But that's what I got for today's episode. That's what I got for today's episode on this special Monday Minute answering your question. And it was short. It was 24 minutes and some change. And so you can listen to it again. You can put it into practice. Maybe we'll type this out for a post. I don't know. But either way, it's in the podcast. And this has been another amazing episode of the Mind of George Show. So I know there's an outro coming after this. Most of the time, I always forget what I say at the end of these episodes anyways. So remember that Nope, I mixed it up. I will see you in the next episode, or you will hear me in your earballs. And remember that relationships will always beat algorithms. Leave me a review. Send me a DM on Instagram with which one of these landed the most, or any I missed, or any you want to share with me so I can share with everybody else. Subscribe to the show if you haven't already. And then I'll see you somewhere else. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to go cue the outro. So ready? 3, 2, 1, outro, go.